Hey everybody, Karen from Ask the Spirit Guides. I hope you're doing well today. So we are going to ask the lead team collective, our spirit teams, about Trump's health today. And what we're doing is we are actually looking, my sister put a little agenda together for us, okay? We have 27 questions related to his health. Now we are actually, there goes Lucy. We are actually going to look, some of the questions are related to last month when our collective dowsing session with the lead team collective asked questions regarding Trump's health last month. Okay, so it's October 12th right now. We did this in September, all right? And with his medical evaluation, which was just 2 days ago, October 10th, we thought it would be interesting to check in with an October update. All right. So center bias check on Newsground. Okay. So many of you know we do use Newsground or Ground News. Sorry, Newsground. Ground the news. Just ground it up. Just ground it up. Right. So Ground News, we use it because you can get bias checks on there. And I think in today's world, there is nothing more important, is there? So if you wanted to get Ground News, they're not sponsoring our video, but we do get, we are an affiliate for them because we use them and we love them. So I do have a QR code right here if you want to use it and support our channel, or the link is in the description. Okay, so the October 10th visit came 6 months after Trump had his annual physical exam in April. So he had it 6 months ago. So this is unusual that they would do another 6 months. Now, is it unusual if you have a health issue? No, right? So I had breast cancer when I was 32, 31, 32, yeah. And yeah, people know when you have a serious health issue, then usually like once it's resolved, they'll check you every 6 months or every 3 months or something like that. So really not that unusual. So Trump was diagnosed with chronic venous, I don't know how to say that, insufficiency. It's VENIOS, a common condition in individuals over 70. The White House has been facing pressure for more transparency regarding the president's health. Pressure from whom? I wonder. Okay, outside analysts and political commentators noted that a president having a second comprehensive checkup in 6 months is unusual. So we are going to start here and ask the lead team collective. This is where we'll start with the first question. You're sitting on a basket. Are you leaning a little bit? I feel like you're leaning a little bit. Which way are we leaning? That way? Hang on, let me see if I can put something. I feel like I'm not straight. Let's see if that's better. That's a little better. Okay. I have a very classy setup here, and you can tell I moved my furniture again, so now I'm sitting in front of, really close to our fireplace, because this is my couch right in front of me. So anywho, all right, so I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides, guardians, the lead team collective, and only those of the highest and purest light, and ask Archangel Michael to please protect my channel, your channel, the lead team collective, and our community, so it is only of the highest and purest light. Amen. Okay. Hey, lead team. I haven't talked to my team or the lead team today, so didn't get to my journaling. How's the journaling going, everyone? 30-day challenge. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing better than I did last time. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how I do. It's just important that how everybody, you individually do, how, once a week is perfect too, or 4 times a week is perfect, or every single day. So just challenge yourself, okay? All right. So lead team, hello. And my own spirit team, thank you so much for all your guidance and support for our community and each of us individually. Really appreciate it. So we have some questions here regarding President Trump. Look at me say his name. What? It's a step in the right direction towards my higher vibration. That's all it means. So they're saying yes, yes. So we have questions about President Trump's, and that does not mean that I honor him. Just keep that straight. My vibration is different, and I'll probably still call him names every once in a while. I can't call him President Trump. Sorry. It just made me want to actually throw up a little bit in my mouth. Okay. Okay. Can you please answer these questions for us about that person who is in the White House, the orange man? There I go. I'm back to myself again. Yes. Okay. Is there anything in front of us, any of the questions in front of me that's not in our highest and best to know? No? Okay, very good. Okay, so based on analysts and political commentators noting that a president having a second comprehensive checkup in 6 months is unusual, is that indeed unusual? Yes. Would it be unusual for a 79-year-old president? No. Because, I mean, come on. I mean, between him and Biden, who else? Did Biden have checks more than every 6 months? Or at least every 6 months? Yes. All right. So in ground news, left outlets frame the visit with suspicion using language such as failing health and corroded mind. Again, I'm so over the games on both sides. Just stop it. Let's just have respect for people, because Trump wouldn't be acting this way if he was treated with respect from when he was a baby. We got to stop this. It's just so annoying. So failing health and a corroded mind, because it doesn't leave us feeling very secure, does it? No. And that's what they want. So right-leaning coverage normalizes it with routinely yearly checkup, excellent health, and semi-annual physical. It's the same thing they did with Biden. It's just the reverse at this point. The right was always saying, what's going on? I mean, it's the exactly same scenario. Anybody else just done with it? Done with the games that these guys are playing? I'm not saying everybody on the left shouldn't be, is held to the same standard. No, I'm not saying that the folks on the left are equal to the folks on the right at all. And I'm not saying everybody, but the political games, it's just tiring. We're just done. It's just done. They're going to have to find new ways, all of them, So, okay. So again, the right-leaning coverage normalizes it with routinely yearly checkups, excellent health, and semi-annual physical. Does the right-leaning coverage, so LTC, does the right-leaning coverage reflect the situation more accurately than the left? Good question. Good question, sis. No. Does the left-leaning coverage reflect the situation more accurately than the right? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to ask this. Did the right-leaning coverage about Biden's health accurately reflect the situation more than the left when Biden was in office? Yes. Did the left accurately reflect Biden's health when he was in office? No. This is what I'm getting at. I'm not getting at any individual person or collectively, if you look at one party's values over another in the games. We know, I mean, come on. That's a cult. This is not a cult, right? But the games they play are very similar, and not all of them. Not all of them on either party. We understand some on the right, why, some of them are being threatened. I mean, this is a very difficult time for, people got into politics, probably, Republicans who honestly got into politics did not expect to be stuck in this and that's why some of them are leaving now. Some of them are not even running again because they're like, this is not what they expected, and who wants to live their life being threatened, right? Okay, we're just looking at the gray. You know me, I got to look at the gray. Nothing is black and white here. Okay, so the White House described this latest October visit, so 2 days ago, as a scheduled follow-up evaluation. That kind of makes sense to me, as part of his ongoing health maintenance plan. Okay, so now we're getting into the rest of the questions here. Oh, we got quite a few. Okay. Is this the actual reason for the October 10th appointment? A follow-up visit? Yes. Is it the only reason? No. Did he have some kind of operation or some kind of like further treatment? Yes. So it wasn't just an evaluation? No, it was also treatment. Yes. Do presidents typically make medical visits to Walter Reed only once a year unless there is an urgent medical issue? IQ. No. So presidents typically will make medical visits to Walter Reed more than once a year. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. To me, that's not rocket science. I mean, how many times do you go to 79 years old. Some of you are in your 70s and 80s. How many times might you go to the doctor just to have certain things checked out, right? There was a while there I was going like once a month trying to figure out menopause. You know what I mean? Does DJT, that's better, DJT have an urgent medical issue that was diagnosed at the prior exam in April? Yes. Does DJT, this is all alleged and entertainment purposes only, does DJT have a new urgent medical issue? Does he have a new urgent medical issue? No. Symptoms which started since the last exam? No. Is DJT's health currently in a worse state than it was in September? Yes. Can you guys be a little bit more active? They're very sluggish. Why are you guys so sluggish today? There they go. They're picking it up a little bit. It's just I can feel the difference in my hand, Have there been any recent public appearances that involved a body double for DJT? Yes. That did not involve, or have there been any recent public appearances that did not involve a body double? Yes. Is there current internal discussion surrounding DJT's, they're already saying yes, potential resignation? Yes. Are these discussions becoming more urgent? Yes, I'm sure they are. Did they have the same type of conversations when Biden was in office? Yes. Is that typical for a president who is maybe in their 70s and 80s? Yes. Does it appear there will be a forced resignation? Will there be a forced resignation? Oh, yes. Well, you told us he was going down. I mean, if I go back through the pendulum messages when I was doing them quite regularly, you told us he was going down. Is that still the case? Yes. Is he literally going down? Like literally, like as in death? No. Okay. Is it his health that's going to have him resign from office? Oh, no. Okay. We'll see. We'll see about that. All right. Very lightly, they're saying no. Are you hesitating to tell us about that outcome? Yes. I've never asked them that before. Yes, they are hesitating, but I could tell with the lower energy on that. They are hesitating. Okay. Will the American public be made aware of the exact date of his resignation before it happens? Ooh, that's a good question. Yes. Okay. Are we going to be prepared for it though? Will the public be prepared for the resignation? Oh, yes. Okay. Is it really going to be a resignation? No. Or is it going to be an impeachment? I was like, what's the dang word? Oh. Oh, yes. Okay. I'll believe it when I see it. Okay. Cut, clear, cancel. Of course it will be. Of course it will be. Is J.D. Vance still expected to become President of the United States within this administration's term? Yes. Will J.D. Vance remain as President of the United States for the entire term once he is in term? No. Well, very light energy still, though, you guys. Very light energy. Okay. Let's see. And my energy is not that low today, so it's usually that's not the case. Is Vance currently taking steps to replace his own cabinet members in the coming months? Yes. Now they're really, maybe it's the way I was holding them. I am positioned kind of a little differently than with the rods. You kind of have to make sure that they have free, that they can move freely, because they can get stuck in here, which is just turning around. So this thing moves on its own. So sometimes you have to be a little careful. That's why you see me go like this every once in a while. Is Project 2025 being implemented at a faster pace than we saw in September? Yes. Is this push coming from J.D. Vance working with Peter Thiel? No. Is this coming from, what's his name, Vought and Peter Thiel? Yes. And Vought is one of the cabinet members. He's up there, a department head. Isn't that great? Will J.D. Vance, cut, clear, cancel? Will J.D. Vance's time as president end before his administration's term is over? Yes. Will that be due to the disclosure of tampering in the 2024 election? Yes. In fact, I wouldn't mind doing a whole election one follow-up if you guys were interested in that. Okay. Does it still appear that we will have a collective group of leaders joining to handle the roles of president and vice president within the next year? So they have said multiple times in the last 10 months that eventually when the shift happens, there will be a collective group, not one president, not one vice president, but a collective group to manage the transition, which I think is amazing. And maybe that's what we'll continue to do. You never know. It's a collective group of, how about people in the center who can listen to all sides of an argument and then come to a conclusion? Wouldn't that be nice? Instead of playing games all the time. I mean, these Senate hearings that they have are such a waste of money, and they all know it. I mean, the only reason they have people, they're never going to get answers from them that they expect. The only reason they're having that is so that they can, let's just say the committee can ask the questions to raise it to the public. But the person giving the answers, I mean, if you ever listen to Pam Bondi, it's just such a joke. I mean, they must think we are just so dumb. I mean, that's where I'm getting to. Like, do they think we're really that dumb that we can't? That's about where I'm at with this, It's like, no, we're not. We're not that dumb. We're just not. And we're fed up with it, Okay, so according to the White House, Trump may travel to the Middle East, which is interesting, to work towards an Israel-Hamas peace deal following the checkup. Okay, is it true that Trump will travel to the Middle East to work towards, yes, they're really swinging yes on that. Okay, to work towards the Israeli-Hamas peace deal? Yes. Has Trump made plans for this trip? Yes. Will the 747 donated by Qatar come into play during this trip? No. Is it likely that Trump is making this trip to further his plan to depart to Saudi Arabia? Yes, really wide swing. They've been telling us that for months and months and months, that he will leave and go to Saudi Arabia, and we'd still have to hear from him. We'll still have to hear from him like on X and stuff, but is Trump's escaping to Saudi Arabia still an outcome? Yes, but are there alternative outcomes depending on the collective? Yes, that's the part where, like, okay. What's interesting is we've really never done like alternative outcomes. I've never done a session like on timelines, like just about basics of timelines. We've asked questions, but well, what's another outcome? Is a possible outcome that he remains president for the next 3 years? No. So that timeline is done. That is not part of the timelines. Yes. Okay, that is not part of the timelines. Yes. I know that sounds weird, but okay. Is it a 80% likelihood that Trump will escape, in parentheses, to Saudi Arabia as the outcome? Yes. So it's an 80%. Is it more than 80%? Yes. Okay. All right. Will this happen? Again, different timelines, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Is it likely to still happen in 2025? Yes. Okay. Remember, Charlie Kirk on the pendulum said, I'll post his videos if you want to watch this next. He said on the pendulum that October would be rough. Well, we're almost halfway through. So, yeah. And then November will bring more peace. So we'll see. I mean, hopefully enough of the other side would be relieved for him to be gone too. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? That's really what we needed. I mean, don't you think? So did this timeline last this long? Because they've been saying this, like, boy, do you guys remember in the spring where they were like, Jack Smith is arriving and Jack Smith that and all that, We'll have to look back. We should look back and do like a pendulum session. No, we could do an SG session, but look back at my pendulum messages. I'd almost want to, yeah, I'm going to do some assessment of my pendulum messages to be like, look at the patterns. Like, why did they tell us what they told us once all this stuff is done, I think. So did you guys, I mean, you told us like, you've been telling us for months and months and months that Trump is done, blah, 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 blah. And sooner, it was supposed to be like July and then August. Yes. Okay. Is that because timeline shifted? Yes. Was it because was the collective always waiting for more people to see the deception? Yes. And is it because in July and August, there weren't enough people yet? Yes. Okay. So we needed enough, so you can kind of see that now, right? We needed enough people to keep this at least somewhat civil. Hopefully mostly civil. Yes. Okay. Okay. And are there enough people now? I don't want to keep using the word awake, but are there enough people now who can see the deception? Yes. Okay. Okay. All right, you guys. We'll see you in the next video. Let me know if you have any other questions, okay? All right. Take care. Bye-bye.